Good morning, all of you. Sorry for the delay. So, I think all of you is here now. So, dear students, we'll start the today's session with this beautiful quote, which is a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So, whatever your goal or your journey is there, it will it will be start with your one single step or one single your exercise or one single your what we can say your practices. So you have to start first to achieve your goal. Okay, and you definitely you will achieve that your goal one day. Okay, so with this beautiful morning and beautiful quote, we will start the today's session. So students, in last session we were discussing regarding the uh, regarding the drug inspector. So we'll see the remaining part today. I hope all of you audible to me. If audible to me, then you can comment yes. If any problem is there, then also you can comment. Okay, so let's start. So today we'll start with duties of drug inspectors. So duties in relation to sale of drugs and cosmetics. So what are the duties regarding the uh, sale of drugs and the cosmetics of the drug inspector? So first is the to inspect at least once a year all establishments licensed for sale of drugs in the area assigned to him and to satisfy himself whether the conditions of the license are observed or not. So this is the first duty of drug inspectors to observe that particular area or that particular assigned area, uh, whether there is everything is going on okay or not. Okay, so this is the first duty of drug inspector. Then if the things necessary to obtain and send the samples of imported drugs and the cosmetics for test or analysis which are being sold or stock in the contravention of the provision of this act. So also they have to check that particular drug or that particular samples are not going to stock. Okay, if they are going to stock, then shortage of this that particular drug or that particular sample will be created in the market. Okay, next is to investigate any complaint made in writing to him. So it is also drug inspector's duty to resolve any type of complaint to given uh, by the consumer or the uh, from the public. Okay, so it is also one of the duty of the drug inspector. Then to institute prosecution in case of the breach of the act and rules. If someone breach or break the act, in that case, in that case he have to prosecution or the uh, he have to go into the court and deals with the all these act and rules related laws. Okay, then to maintain the records relating to all inspections and actions taken by him and to submit copies of such records to the controlling authority. So time to time he have to submit all particular type of records to the controlling authority or the uh, whatever authority is there which have to report that particular drug inspector. Then to make inquiries and inspections regarding the sale of drugs in the contravention of the act. Then also inspectors have to inquiry uh, regarding the or the in the contravention of the drug or the act. Then to detain the imported packages if the suspect uh, to contain drugs, the import of which is prohibited. If prohibited drugs are going to imported over there, then he have to deals with that product also or that particular problem also. Okay. So next is the duties in relation to manufacture of drug and cosmetic. So first is regarding the sale of drug and cosmetic, and second one is the manufacture of drug and the cosmetic. In that, to inspect at least once a year all the premises licensed for manufacture of drug in the area assigned to him, and to satisfy himself whether the cosmetics of the licenses and provisions of the act and rules are observed or not. So he have to confirm that particular premises which have mentioned in the license, which are going to uh, conduct very well or not. He have to check once a year, at least once a year, all that premises. Then to inspect premises license for manufacturing of drugs specified in Schedule C and Schedule C1. So this is my first question to all of you. What is Schedule C and C1? You can comment below in the comment section. What is Schedule C and Schedule C1? Okay. And to observe process of manufacture means employed for standardization and testing of drugs, storage condition, qualification of technical staff employed, and all other details of construction, location, administration of establishment, etc. Okay, which are likely to affect potency of purity of product. So he have to uh, confirm that all the products are going to in a very well quality control testing, or the in a very well quality maintained manner. Okay, so he have to check that particular type of products. Okay, then to send after each inspection a detailed report of inspection to the controlling authority with detail of conditions of license and provisions of the act and rules being observed and those not observed. Okay, so this is one of the important factor or the important duty of drug inspector. He have to send the all that records which he had uh, inspect during his duties. Okay, so this is the one of important duty of drug inspector. Then to take samples of drug manufactured on premises and send them for the test or analysis. Then he have to also uh, that particular sample which he had taken from the particular manufactured area or the premises, that have to send to the particular CDL laboratory. Okay, to check all records and register required to be maintained under rules. Then he have to maintain all the records in their rules only. Okay, then to institute prosecutions for breaches of act. If anyone breaches the act, then he have to prosecute that particular into the court. Then so that was the duties of drug inspectors. Then what will be the procedure regarding taking any sample or regarding any type of the inspection? So let's say about the procedures of inspectors. So some type of procedures are there, or the particular type of procedures are there. By following that procedure only, the drug inspectors can do their job or the duties. Okay, so first is for taking samples of drug and dispatching them to the laboratory. So first procedure is regarding to the taking the samples and dispatching them to the laboratory. So in that case, what he should do first is, where an inspector takes any sample of a drug or the cosmetic, he shall tender the fair price thereof and may require a return acknowledgement thereof. So he have to given, or the he have to give the particular acknowledgement to that particular person or the licensee regarding the taking of sample. Okay, without any acknowledgement he can't take the samples from there. So next is, where the price is refused, he shall tender uh, a receipt thereof in the prescribed form. Okay, then you should maintain all the data into the prescribed form only. Then where an inspector takes a sample of a drug or the cosmetic for the purpose of test or analysis, he shall intimate such a purpose in writing in the prescribed form to the person from whom he takes it, and in the presence of such person, unless he willfully absent himself, shall divide the samples into the four portions and effectively seal the suitably marks or the suitably mark the same, and the permit such a person to add his own seal and mark to all or any of the portions so sealed and marked. So he have to uh, taken that sample in presence of that licensee or that person only, which is the owner of that particular premises or the manufacturing area. Okay, and also you have to seal that particular samples, and if possible, if uh, that person is interested to seal or the to make his own seal on that sample, so that person can also mark their own seal on that samples for the assurity. Okay, then where the sample is taken from the premises whereon the drug or the cosmetic is being manufactured, it shall be necessary to divide the samples into the three portions only. So after taking of sample, he should divided the sample into the three portions. Okay, so let's see next. Then where the drug or the cosmetic is made of in the containers of small volumes, instead of dividing a sample as foresaid, then the inspector may, and if the drug or the cosmetic be such that it is likely to deteriorate or the otherwise damage by the exposure, shall take three or four, as the case may be, of the said the containers, after suitably making the same and where necessary sealing them. So in case of any damaging or the deterioration of any type of sample, then he can take the another sample up to 3 to 4. Then the inspector shall restore one portion of a sample so divided or one container, as the case may be, to the person from whom he takes it, and shall retain the remainder and dispose of the same as follows. So he should keep that particular samples or the keep one samples as a restoration sample. So let's see one by one that three samples are what going to play an important role. Okay, so one portion or the container he shall forthwith send to the government analyst for the test or analysis. So first one sample he should send to the government analyst for the analysis purpose. Then second sample he shall produce to the court before with proceedings, if any, are instituted in the respect of the drug or the cosmetic. So if court prosecution is there, then he have to present the sample into the court also. Then the third is, where taken he shall send to the person, if any, whose name, address and other particulars have been disclosed as manufacturer or his agent. So one copy or the one part of that sample he have to send that particular portion of that particular type of the manufacturer or that particular licensee. Okay, so let's move toward next. So this is all about the different type of procedure for the drug inspector during performing his duties. Okay, next is procedures regarding the seizures of stocks. If anything goes on wrong there, then whatever procedure follow to the inspectors to seal that particular stock or particular area or the particular premises. Okay. So whenever inspector suspects contravention, he may seize any stock of such a drug or records, registers, documents which are believed to be evidence of the commission of offense. He should at the earliest inform a judicial magistrate and take his order for custody. So first of all, he have to inform that particular matter to the judicial magistrate, and after that he can take the charge of that particular custody. Okay. Or he may order not to be disposed of stock in prescribed format, form 15. So he can also fill up the form 15 and he can take that particular stock as a seizure. If, if he takes above action, he should use all means to ascertain if there is contravention, if not return stock. Then if uh, defect can be remedied, then allowed to do so, and after satisfaction revoke order. If he is feeling that it is going to very danger, then he have to immediately sell that particular stock. Next is controlling authority. So what type of controlling is there for the drug inspectors? Okay, so all inspectors at the central and state level are under their control. So central or state, uh, uh, whatever inspectors are there in a control. Okay. Then the qualification, what type of qualification is there or should required? He is a graduate in pharmacy, pharmaceutical chemistry, medicine with specialization in clinical pharmacology or microbiology from a university established in India. He has experience in manufacturing or testing of drugs or enforcement of the provisions of the act for a minimum period of 5 years. So he should have experience of 5 years or the minimum 5 years of experience. The requirement of academic qualification is not applicable to the inspectors and government analysts appointed before 12th April 1989. So academic experience is not valid for this particular drug inspector post. Then state government, if state government is there, then each state government employs licensing authority to issue uh, okay. So we are uh, discussing now regarding the licensing authority. So who can give the license to the particular manufacturer or to the particular uh, distributor, or we can say the pharmacy shop. Okay, then state government, each state government having the employees licensing authority to issue that particular license for manufacture, sale, distribution of the drug or the cosmetics within the state. They can issue, refuse license, cancel or suspend license. So they are having to authority to issue, refuse license, cancel or the suspend that particular license with the reason. Okay. Then the central government appoints licensing authority to issue license for import of drugs. Also central government appoints the authority to issue the license for import of drug purpose. Then drugs controller of India is the central licensing approving authority. Okay. Then qualification of that particular licensing authority is he is a graduate in pharmacy, pharmaceutical chemistry, medicine with specialization in clinical pharmacology or microbiology from a particular established from a particular university established in India. He has experience in manufacturing or testing of drugs or enforcement of the provision of the act for a minimum period of 5 years. So he should have experience of 5 years in that particular manufacturing area or the manufacturing of that particular drugs. Then the requirement of academic qualification is not applicable to inspectors and government analyst appointed before 12th April 1989. So same case is here also. There is uh, no requirement of any academic qualification is applicable for that particular post. Then next part is the custom collectors. The custom collectors or a person on his behalf may detain imported package with he suspect to contain drugs or cosmetic import of which is prohibited. Report detention to drugs controller and if required forward samples to CDL. So who is the collector? So custom collectors are the persons which are watching uh, that particular importing of drugs and cosmetics. So it is uh, necessary to watch that particular import and export of drug and cosmetics. Then laws relating to C custom act are applicable for that person. So all type of C custom laws are applicable for custom collectors. So this is all about the administrative bodies and the administrative persons which are working on that particular ground field. Okay. Then next part is the import of drug. So while importing of any type of drug or a cosmetic, what type of precautions or the what type of guidelines we have to follow? Let's see that particular guidelines or the acts. So import of drugs means import means to bring into India, means anything you are bringing into India that called as import. Classes of drugs prohibited to import. So which type of drugs we cannot import into the India or into our country, which are follows: any drugs which is not of standard quality. If standard quality is not there of any type of drug or cosmetics, then we can't import that particular drug in our country. Any misbranded, spurious or adulterated drug. So if any drug is having less, okay, so okay, schedule C1 contains various biological products, right? Very right. She given the answer of that my question. Okay, so if any misbranded drug is there, spurious or the adulterated drug is there, then we can't import that particular type of drug in our country. Any misbranded or the spurious cosmetic, also we can't import any misbranded or spurious cosmetics in our country. Any drug or cosmetics which require import license, and if imported without such a license, if we import any type of drug which have to uh, taken the import license and we imported that particular drug without license, then we can't import that particular drug or the cosmetic without a particular license. Then any patent or the proprietary medicine, the true formula or list of active ingredients with their true quantities is not displayed on the label or the container is prescribed manner. If any proprietary medicine is there without the formula or the true formula, we can't allow that particular drug or the cosmetic to import in our country. Any cosmetics containing any such ingredient which may render it unsafe or harmful to use. If any cosmetic is there which is harmful to human, so we can't import that particular drug under this act, drug or the cosmetic under this act. Any drug which claim to cure or prevent any disease or ailments described in Schedule J. So the some of uh, disease or ailments are there like HIV/AIDS, or you can say that coronavirus, and uh, we or the COVID-19, and someone are going to claim that like Ramdev Baba, uh, this is the medicine and which is prevent or the cure that particular disease or disorder like a COVID-19. So we can't claim that particular medicine to cure that without providing the uh, such important data, or without providing the clinical data. So we can't providing that particular type of the medicine or drug. Okay, so that particular drugs are prevented under this act and rules being imported into the India. Okay, then any drug or the cosmetic the import of which is prohibited under rules, or then any other drug and cosmetic which are prohibited under the rule or the act which we can't import into the India. Then import of drugs and cosmetics permitted under license only. So this all type of medicines or the all type of schedules or the all types of medicine we can import under the license only. So first one is the drug specified in the schedule CSC1, biological related your products. Then drugs specified in the schedule X, narcotic and psychotropic substances related drugs. Okay, then drugs for the examination, test or analysis, any type of drug you want to examination, test or the analysis purpose, then we can import that particular drug under the license only. Then drugs for personal use, so you have to claim that you are going to personal use that particular drug, then you can import that particular drug also. Any new drug, if any new drug is there and you want it, then you can go through go for it with the license only. Then import of schedule C's and C1 drugs. The license for the import of schedule C's and C1 drug is granted subject to the following condition. If following condition will follow by that particular subject, then and then this particular schedule C and C1 drugs are going to imported with the license. Licensee must have adequate facility for the storage of imported drugs so that the properties of drug are preserved. So whomsoever person is there which have to adequate facility for the storage purpose of that particular biological products. Okay, then licensee must maintain the record of sale of drugs showing particulars of the names of the drugs and of the persons to whom they have been sold. So license have to clearly mention that records of particular uh, persons which are going to sell of that particular drug. Then the licensee must allow the inspectors to inspect the premises where imported drugs are stored and to check the record and to take the samples for test or analysis. So that particular licensee have to must allow that particular inspector to check that particular area regarding that safety and efficacy of that particular product. Then the licensee on request shall uh, supply the sample of drugs from all batches to the licensing authority for test or analysis. So if uh, licensee feels that he have to send a particular samples or each batch of samples for analysis for checking its authenticity, then he can send to that particular analyst. Then the licensee must not sell the drugs from any batch from which the samples have been supplied to the licensing authority except under the advice of the licensing authority. If that licensee provided particular sample to, to the analysis and he can't sell that particular batch of samples for the sale purpose, drugs for the sale purpose, he can't sell that particular drugs without coming that uh, particular analysis result. After receiving the analysis result, he can go for it. The licensee must comply with the undertaking given in the form 9, so he should have also follow that particular form 9 undertakings. Then the import license may be cancelled or the suspend if conditions are not satisfied. If that particular person are not going to satisfy the particular or the mentioned type of rules and acts, then he may be cancelled their uh, may be cancel or the suspend their license also by the licensing authority. Then import of the Schedule X drugs. So Schedule X drugs are the narcotic and psychotropic substances. Mm, then uh, the license for the import of Schedule X drugs is granted subject to the following condition. If following conditions will follow that particular subject, then the licensing authority will grant that particular license, particular license that to that uh, particular subject or the person. Okay, then the licensee must have adequate facility for the storage or the imported drug. So licensing that licensee person have to particular adequate amount of facility for that storage purpose of that particular imported drug, so that the properties of drug that are remain preserved. So he should remain the quality of that particular product. Then the licensing authority may also refuse to grant the license if the license granted to the applicant previously was suspended or the cancelled. If previously any type of license is suspended or the cancelled, then authority can refuse that particular person to giving the license. Or in case if the applicant failed to comply with any provision of the act, that is Drug and Cosmetic Act or the Narcotic Drug and Psychotropic Substances Act, if any persons which are not going to follow that particular act rules and acts, then here uh, uh, here applicable to refuse that particular license or giving the license. Okay, then however, if the applicant is not satisfied with the decision, may appeal to the central government within 30 days. If that particular licensee is not satisfied with the licensing authority, then he can go for the central government within 30 days of that particular refusal period. Then next is the import of small quantities of drug for examination, test or analysis. In that case, small quantities of drugs, the import of which is prohibited under the act, may be imported for the purpose of examination, test or the analysis, subject to be following conditions. So subject have to follow the following particular conditions. First one is the licensee must use imported drugs exclusively for the purpose for which they are imported and specified in the license. So person have to use that particular drug or the sample for the mentioned particular purpose only. He can't use whatever he mentioned in the form and whatever he going to use, he can't do that. So okay, then licensee must maintain the record of imported drugs showing particulars of their quantities, names of manufacturer, and date of the import. Then licensee must allow the inspectors to inspect the premises where imported drugs are kept and to check the records and to take the samples for test or analysis. So he should have to allow that particular drug inspector to checking of that particular imported drug. Then the licensee must comply with other conditions as prescribed. So licensee should also comply that uh, mentioned other rules and acts also. Then import of drugs for personal use. Which drugs we are imported under the personal use condition, then what type of rule and acts or the guidelines we have to follow. First one is small quantity of drugs, the import of which is otherwise prohibited may be imported for personal use without any license, subject to the following conditions. The drug shall form the passenger's bona fide luggage and shall exclusively be for the personal use of that passenger. So he should have given that bona fide of that particular luggage regarding the use and that particular name of the drugs. The drugs shall be declared to the custom authority if they direct so. He can also declare with the custom authority if they want. The quantity of any single drug so imported shall not exceed 100 doses. Anybody can't import any drug under the personal use over the 100 doses. He should have to order below 100 doses only. The licensing authority may, in an exceptional case, sanction the import of large quantity drug is not forming a part of bona fide personal luggage if any case is there or the exceptional or emergency cases there, then that particular authority allow that particular person in this case, following case, the drug is for bona fide personal use. If the drug is mentioned for the personal use only, then he can allow. Then the quantity to be imported is reasonable and is covered by prescription of RMP. If it is prescribed by any of a registered medical practitioner or the doctor, then he can allow that uh, particular subject in that particular emergency cases. Then import of new drug. If novel drug is there, new drug is there, then what uh, what type of guidelines we should follow? Let's see. No new drugs are allowed to imported without the sanction of the licensing authority. So we can't allow to import any type of novel or new drug without licensing authorities sanction. Then the importer of new drug, when applying for the permission, shall produce all the documentary evidence and other evidence relating to its standards of quality and purity, strains, and such other information, including the clinical trials, to the licensing authority. So all type of documentation he importer should be uh, provided to that particular licensing authority to sanction that particular type of the new drug import. So import of new drug without license or the permit. So which type of drug we can import without license or without permit? Let's see the what type of guidelines are there. Drugs other than those discussed above may be imported without any permit or license. However, before such drugs are imported into the country, the importer should submit a declaration to the custom collector that they comply with all the provisions of chapter 3rd of Drug and Cosmetic Act. So he should have follow that particular provisions mentioned in the chapter 3rd of the Drug and Cosmetic Act. If the custom collector will allow that person to import that particular drug or cosmetic without any license or without any permit. Then places in India through which the drugs are imported. Some places are there in India that to that places only we can import our drugs. So you should have to keep in your mind that particular place are going to the hotspot for the importing of that particular drugs only, or the that particular products only. The import of drugs in India is allowed only through the following places. Only these mentioned place or the at the mentioned places we can import our particular drug or the cosmetic. If by sea route is there or the by uh, coastal route is there, then we can import our product at Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Cochin, Vishakhapatnam, and Nava Seva. Okay, so that particular stations or the particular uh, novel dockyard, we can import our particular drug or cosmetics. If by air is there, if our product going to come in India by air, then we can import that particular drugs at Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Ahmedabad, and Hyderabad. If by rail is there, then Firozpur Cant and Amritsar railway station. If somebody imported any drug from the Pakistan, if somebody imported any drug from the Pakistan, then we have to import at the Firozpur Cant and the Amritsar railway station only. Then if somebody are going to import it from the Bangladesh by rail, then we have to import that particular drug at the Ranaghat or the Bogaon and the uh, Maison. So that particular three places are there for the importing of any type of drug or cosmetic from the Bangladesh. Then somebody want to import any type of drug or cosmetic from the Nepal, then we can import that particular drug at the Raksal, and we have to do all type of the custom rules and guidelines are follow over there, and after paying the custom duty we can take a charge of our product over there. So some of drugs are there which are exempted from the provisions regulating import of drug. Some of drugs are there which are exempted from the particular rule and act. These substances are not intended for medical use. For example, conditions, it should be there. Label should bear that not for medical use. If it is not mentioned under the medical use, then and then uh, we can import that particular drug without any type of the rules and sorry, without any type of the licensee or the permission. Then the following the substances which are used both as article of food and drugs in the condition of exempted from all the provisions of chapter 3. These are exempted from the all the uh, these are exempted from the all the provisions of chapter 3, but he should have to uh, maintain that particular guidelines mentioned by the custom collectors regarding the custom seed duties. He should have paid that particular duties only. All the condensed or the powder milk, so there is a no any type of the, or you don't have to take the any type of license for the import of any type of uh, condensed or the powder milk products. Then Farex, oats, lactose, Cerelac, except for parenteral use. Then the virals, Borville, then chicken essence and other similar uh, pre-digested foods. So we can order that particular or the import that particular products from the uh, uh, from the foreign countries into the India. Then the cinnamon, pepper, ginger, and other condiment and the spices. Okay, so we can import that particular products without any type of the license or the without any type of the permit uh, under the Drug and Cosmetic Act. So some of offenses and the penalties related to this import of drugs are there. If anybody violates that particular rules and acts, then we can go for the some type of offenses and the penalties mentioned by the Drug and Cosmetic Act and Rule 1940 and 1945 and its amendments. So anyone who, so any person is there who imports adulterated or the spurious drugs or the cosmetic unsafe to use, then he shall be punishable with infringement up to 3 years. So he shall be punishable for infringement for 3 years with fine up to 5,000 or both on first conviction. If first conviction is there first time, any type of that uh, particular infringement is happen, then and then that 3 year and 5,000 is there. If it happens with second time or the at a second time, then infringement up to 5 year, then fine up to 10,000 for the second time. That particular type of or the uh, same type of the uh, conviction is there. Then import of any drug or the cosmetic, the import of which is prohibited under section 10, then it is punishable. If someone breaks that particular rule and act mentioned under the section 10, then and then he will be punishable with the infringement up to 6 months or with fine up to 5,000, sorry, 500, or both on the first conviction. And if it happens at the second time, then infringement up to 1 year and the fine up to 1,000 or both on the subsequent conviction or the second time conviction. Okay, then imports any drug or a cosmetic, the import of which is prohibited in the public interest. If it is there regarding the prohibition under the public interest, then he shall be punishable with the infringement up to 3 years, for both fine up to 5,000 or the both on the first conviction, and he shall be punishable with if it is happen at a second time, or the uh, same uh, same type of the conviction is there at a second time, then he is punishable for the 5 years infringement and fine up to 10,000 for both or both. Okay, it may be one of them or both. Okay, then this is the overall regarding the import of drugs and cosmetics in India. So we should have followed that particular type of all measures uh, regarding the import of drug and cosmetic in India. So students, up to here enough for the day. So you have to revise this chapter again and again. We will take your test very soon. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Have a good day. And one more thing, if you having any type